And we're back. I'd say they're moving in the right direction for the neural sim, but I do think it could have been better since, as you can see here, we still have a whole lot of boss that they can rerun other than the ones that we have already fought recently. But nonetheless, here's my main run. The difference here is that I need to use Yao instead of Series, because Series is gonna be needed in the SPH boss. And then Vidya is just far better than Aquila, at least for this team and against this boss. And again, with Chenxing, we just need to not overstock. And that will depend highly on our investment. But the end result is to skip the invulnerable phase of this boss.
Arrows, find your targets.
Sadly, I need 13 stacks with what I have, so I can't really ult earlier than that. Unless I'm able to optimize like, stacking while the whale moves to the other side, which is gonna be tough.
Would you mind stepping a little closer?
And here Series has the support.
There is no retreat. Adjutant, I am prepared.
And with my current series, I need less stacks.
Arrows, find your targets. The end? This is just the beginning.
Now I do think I might have overstock here, but I already put her on the other boss, so I guess she can still go faster.
Destiny.
But seems like she's already 2 seconds faster even though, I overstock.
Game start.
And for these ones, it's pretty much the same as the last time I did the whale boss. Just with the added Bubu Specular Soul later on. But let's start with Acacia here.
Yeah. Noob.
Since we can't deal more damage on the HP, I just, ult later on.
Transphase core. Wayne. Transphase.
And I lack one more stack, I guess. So could have been a second faster. But either way, it's still not gonna beat the Chenxing team. It's mainly because Chenxing can skip the invulnerable phase. I honestly don't know if the devs didn't expect players to do that. Like, using Chenxing to snipe the whale underwater. To be able to get more stacks and then just ult. But I guess if they never intended it to be like that, then they would have, fixed it if it was a bug. But in terms of runtime though, I think Fenny here and the other units are more closer, to each other. Like with what I have anyway. It makes me feel like it's the intended runtime for this boss.
Shall we hit the showers together?
So yeah, this is just a second slower than Acacia.
Another round?
And here's the Longyan team finally being free from that fox boss.
Air support in position. Sending all my luck your way. I'm getting the hang of this. Do keep going, darling. Blaze.
I didn't realize I didn't use her skill here. Yeah, and I use it here and there's no damage as you can see. So I guess it could have been far better. But I already put Marian on the other boss. And with my current Pidgeot, the runtime is just far slower. Sadly.
Allow me to set the stage.
Just a second slower than Fenny, but could have been better.
I trust.
Oh, and I guess I only did this once. Since the last record is Bubu. And here's the Katya team.
Crime doesn't pay.
Magic and Jade.
Double the firepower.
Magic and Jade. Sending all my love your way.
So I just decided to just stay far back instead of, going to the very front to wait for it to go back up.
Sending all my love your way.
Double the firepower.
Magic and Jade.
Claim the high ground.
Another second slower to Longyan.
Too easy.
And again, they're close to each other. Aside from Chenxing and I guess Bubu here. With my current investment on her. Now with what I have, I need to only use 3 stacks in here.
Too easy. Cascading light.
And with what I have, I should avoid hitting the last hit of the ultimate. So this is a deliberate choice so that I'm able to 4 stacks before it goes invulnerable.
Don't slow me down.
And as you can see, I only use Fenny Starshine again after I use the skill for the 4th stack. Another important thing is being able to at least 1 stack or at least almost 1 stack here. So that I'm able to get 3 stacks before it hits the bridge.
I guide the reflex. Don't slow me down, okay?
And we use the last skill when it breaks the bridge here.
Enemy encountered.
So yeah, currently that's my current best with what I have right now. With Bubu Specular Soul. And again, she's currently the slowest out of all my current runs. At least the ones that I use here.
Found you.
So that's 20 seconds slower than Chenxing.
Unacceptable.
And Bubu was 10 seconds slower than Katya.
Let's see what's left.
And here's mostly the usual team for the SPH boss, aside from Marian Acacia there. But if you have the Testy Magician here, you can use her. But I don't have her built.
Let's see what's left.
Hurry up already.
So yeah, it's just a one-time run.
Want another round?
And there's the Longyan Team again. And this one is a bit RNG. We need to finish the last hit of the basic attack before we get paralyzed. And then we just use skill there to dodge the other paralyze.
Do keep going, darling.
Sending all my luck your way.
And it's just gonna be the usual rotation now for Longyan.
Dance in the flames of the divine fox. Yeah, cleansing fire. Incinerate.
Do keep going.
Oh, now I'm in. The price of this transaction is your life.
So that's 9 seconds lower.
I trust I didn't disappoint.
And here's the boss info and buff for the week. The boss seems to be weak to chaos, although I guess with not much investment on Bubu, it doesn't fully matter. And seems like the boss has a weak spot here where we didn't really reach it. None of the runs that I did reach this part, so yeah, it doesn't fully matter. But we do have higher standard skill damage here by 40% for this week. And seems like we do have a decrease in hip fire ballistic, but I did try to redo the Katya and Bubu, but doesn't seem to change much, to be honest. And here's the build view starting from the top. Acacia Chrono Echo Tier 1 and attack alignment, typically for skill DPS, and M3. Yeah, Mariana Kila Tier 1 and her free logistics that we get before, M3. And Fenny Pureheart Tier 1. Again, attack alignment, the typical skill DPS, substats, and M3. And here's Fenny Starshine Tier 1. And the free logistics that we got before, and M2. And Yao Night Glow, which I rarely use unless I need it, Tier 1. And the free logistics that we got before, and M2. Here's series free pin Tier 1. And the free logistics that we got before, and M2. Here's Chenxing Jade Arc Tier 2. Attack crit damage, and M4. Here's Katya Rhapsody Tier 1 and attack alignment, and M3. Here's Despantasia Tier 2 and the free logistics that we got before, and M3. Here's Fija Celestial Swan Tier 1 and attack alignment since she wasn't a free unit, and M3. And Bubu Specular Soul Tier 1, attack crit damage for now, and still M0 actually. So yeah, she can still be better later on. And here's Longyan Divine Fox Tier 2, attack crit damage, and M1. And that's about it.